Hello everyone, happy Halloween to all of you. I have a super fun tutorial for a coffin shaped mini album, of course, for a Halloween. We will make the base all by ourselves and then we will decorate the pages. I divided this tutorial into two parts, so this one will be about making album base and the second part uploaded in a second video will be the part where we will decorate the pages and add the pictures. I printed myself photos all in the same size, and I'm trying to kind of determine what size of an album I need to have two pictures on each page. That's why I added two of them on the piece of a cardboard, and I am creating a stencil of how big the pages in my album should be. As I mentioned, this will be a coffin shaped mini album, so I'm trying to achieve a coffin shape. It's a really simple shape to make with just few lines, and I was kind of trying if it is the real shape, but I decided no, it's a little bit off. The bottom part is too big, so I need to reshape it. That's why I'm measuring everything once more. I will show you the measurements later. I just created like a motion freeze for you to stop and check the dimensions. But if you have smaller pictures or want to make smaller album, you can easily adjust your sizes. This will be the size of my pages. So this is just a cardboard stencil that I will be using. And now I need to create a cover pages. Covers need to be a little bit different, not different, bigger than the pages. That's why I trace the page and I am adding a little bit extra around it. Um, so the cover will be a little bit bigger. It will help to cover any, slip-offs with gluing and nothing will stick out from the cover. And you may wonder why I didn't add extra a few millimeters on the bottom, because there is where all the pages and the cover meets at the same point. They will be combined together, so there will be no extra space added there. So I have a stencil for the cover, and now I am using it to trace two pieces of the same size, but I'm using a thicker cardboard. This is the gray cardboard. It won't be visible, so do not worry if it's not as pretty. I just wanted to have more sturdy product. And then I took a piece of leftover and measured the back spine of the album. So it will have 5 centimeters thickness, but I needed to estimate the width of this album. So I just measure it and it is 8 centimeters. So this piece is 8 by 5 centimeters. So this I'm going to freeze the frame so you can pause and take the measurements. And now I'm adding the measurements to all of the cover dimensions, so all the sides. But for me, the best is to create your own sizing. So I here are the dimensions. You could freeze the video if you need it, but I'm just adding few more and I will freeze it so you can pause and take it from here. So we have 8 centimeters, 11 and 3 centimeters. All of them are in centimeters because I am from Poland, Europe, and we use metric system. But you can, if you are doing it by yourself, you can definitely just make it in inches. And now I'm putting my covers with black wrapping, and I am using the black cardstock. This is from American Crafts. I bought 60 pack of this many years ago when TK Maxx, this is the Polish, well, European version of some American store, a similar name. I don't remember right now. And it was, on sale, so I bought it. But I'm not using a lot of black, so it was sitting back there. And now it was the purpose. I bought it several years ago. I'm applying glue to one of the cover sides. I'm putting it on top of the black paper I'm going to use. And I'm doing exactly the same with the second cover. As you can see, the paper is a little bit bigger on each side because we need to wrap it around. So you will not have the edges of the cardboard visible. You can go like a lazy way and just add it to the exact measurement of each cover, but I prefer wrapping around. It makes the album much more elegant. Yeah. After this layer is kind of a dry, we can start wrapping around. So I'm trimming the excess paper on this side and again on the other cover. I'm doing two at once, but each process will be exactly the same. So if you do one, you will know how to do the second one. And now I'm trimming the excess on other sides. You need, I would say, 1.5 centimeters of paper to wrap around. It's not like you only have to have 1.5 centimeters. You can have 2 centimeters. You can have 1 centimeter, but it will be a little bit harder to glue around. So I would say 1.5 centimeters up to 2 centimeters is just like a perfect amount of paper to be left around. And I need to um, add scoring lines around it to bend it around the edges, which I am doing right now. You also need to remove a little bit of the paper on the corners, so they will not overlap that much and they will not create a thick paper. So I'm just using the craft knife to cut out excess paper from the corners. You can use ruler or you can just use like your hand, and this is what I will be doing in the end. Never cut to the very edge. Always leave 2 millimeters. I would recommend 2 millimeters of the paper um, to wrap around the corners so it won't be visible. I'm just trimming. It's better to trim less at first and then adjust than trim too much and then be worried that you have your cardboard visible, even though we can still try some washi tape out. So there are solutions if you cut too much. So I'm starting with one flap. I'm gluing it with just the regular glue. I know that some scrapbookers use strong double-sided adhesive. I prefer glue because it gives me some time to adjust, to push, and the glue tape, double-sided tape, if it holds, it holds. It's not easy to adjust your folding and and reinforce it. And plus the glue wets the paper, so it prevents cracking. Uh, and for me, it's the better way of gluing your albums than with double foil, double tape. Of course, you can combine them, add a little bit of glue, add the tape, whatever float your boat. I'm just showing you my way of making things. It's a black cardstock, so you have to be quite careful with making it dirty with glue. Glue will leave this shiny surface when it's dry, and it will be much visible on a black cardstock. So just be careful with that, and be careful, keep your hands clean, keep your excess glue away, maybe prepare yourself like a piece of a paper towel or something to clean your folding bone, just to make sure you will not transfer the glue. And again, I'm removing excess pieces of this uh, of this paper that we are wrapping around. And again, I'm reinforcing the folding lines, and I will be adding glue and wrapping around. It's exactly the same process as with the previous cover. So adding glue, pressing everything with bone folder, and you will have your covers ready to be combined with a spine and with pages. Uh, Usually when you wrap around, you start with flaps that are the opposites. So in this case, I started with the left and the right, and then I folded the bottom and then with others. So if you are using like rectangle, I would also use top and bottom and then left, right. so you will have a neater folding on the edges. Um, in this album, I cut it out a little bit too big. You can see when I'm closing it, I have this missing triangle, but do not worry, I will just add this piece of black cardstock and you won't notice a thing. So that's why I ask you to cut less and then move forward, then cut too much at once, and then you have to improvise with fixing your box. So the covers are almost ready. I am leaving them to dry and then I will work with the spine. Now it will be a time to connect them together. And there comes our spine, which we cut it out previously. Um, I'm just trimming the paper a little bit, and we will still need an excess paper to wrap around, but we also need a paper for the hinges. So leave 3-4 centimeters on the left, 3-4 centimeters on the right, plus a centimeter and a half on the top and centimeter on the half on the bottom. So you will need this much of an excess paper on each side. The narrow sides, top and bottom, we will wrap around with the paper. So we're just adding the wrapping around. I just added the glue and just fold it like we did with the album cover. And we are doing the same with the opposite side. But in this case, we will not wrap around the left and right sides. We just need to make sure the glue sticks well on top and bottom. And we will combine with the spine pages, covers of our album. This will also become a page, sorry, I'm bad with words today. This will also become a spot where we will add pages to the album. As you could see, I applied glue, but not in the inside. I applied the glue on the outside. And here you can see I added it too much and I need to remove it before it will dry down and leave those transparent marks. If you are wondering what I'm doing with this yellow thingy, this is the um, rubber that you can use to remove the glue. It's not for pencils, it's for the glue. So if you have like a double sticky tape leftovers, it removes this glue very well. So this is a very handy tool. Um, and as you can see, we added those hinges of the spine inside the album, not outside the album. And this is where I forgot to put my camera on recording. So I will show you how I created the spine of the album. I prepared myself the paper that is 12 inches wide, but it's 6.8 centimeters wide, tall, and I'm adding scoring every each centimeter. I think it's 15 lines. I wanted to add 5 pages to the album, so we need to leave 3 centimeters on the left and on the right of the scoring, and then we start scoring. We need to create those sort of T lines, reverted T lines, so we will have hinges for our pages. So you need to add scoring to fold the paper. Plus, we are leaving 1 centimeter between each of the folds. So I will have some extra space between pages for extra dimensions. So we apply glue to 1 and 2 scoring. Then we leave the third one empty. Then 4 and 5 with glue. 6 1 empty. 7 8 with glue. And 9 empty and 10, 11 with glue. And this way we will create this kind of a harmonica that is a spine to connect album with pages. Now it's time for the pages. We have the spine, we need to fill it. I'm using the page stencil that I created previously, and I'm just tracing it around with a pencil using the same black cardstock that I used for the covers. And I am going to add 5 pages, which means I need to cut 10 of those because I am combining 2 for each pages to make it more sturdy. After adding the lines with the pencil, I'm trimming everything down with you can use your machine like I'm doing. This is the paper trimmer, paper guillotine. If you have more stamina, you can just use ruler and uh, precision knife. So you just need 10 of the same size we prepared previously. And I have all of them cutted by the magic of video editing. And I'm applying glue to the first one. Then I'm taking the second one, but I'm only applying glue on the centimeter where mm, the page will connect with the spine of the album. Then I discovered that the pages are a little bit smaller than the spine, so I need to trim the corners of each spine. I don't know how to call it in English. I'm lacking words. Well, they are not words that describe it, but I need to make it more narrow, otherwise they would peek out from between the pages. This is what I did with scissors. Don't worry, you will not see those tiny little flaps because they will be hidden in between 2 pages. So I'm just applying 1 page underneath the flap, then the second page over the flaps. So make sure those little flaps, the little hinges, will come in between 2 pages, 2 pieces of your paper. And I'm proceeding with the same for all other 4 pages. I'm just adding page, glue up, adding the hinge in between and sealing everything with the second page. I do not apply glue on the second page because it connects with the glue from the bottom page. And the second page, and here I added a piece of white paper to prevent glue from leaking out and making my album dirty. And the third page, exactly the same process here. I'm just applying glue all over everything. Some people like to smear it with your spatula or something to make the even layer. I don't mind, even if there will be some little traces of glue lines, because I will add another layer of of pattern paper on top of it. So this album base, this black coffin pages will be covered with pattern papers. There will be only a little bit of um, edges visible, so they will create sort of a black frame around the colorful pattern papers. I am applying glue on the 4th page. Again, exactly the same process with all of the pages. And this album is something that I was making up when I was doing it. I haven't made a coffin album in the past. I know that there is like a general way of making albums, even if they have fancy shapes, you kind of combine and make them together in a similar way. But you can notice I haven't added any closing of the album, and I was wondering what should I do? Maybe should I add the bow on the top or something? But then I decided bow doesn't correspond well with with Halloween. I wanted to keep it like a clean, coffin-like shape. That's why I decided I need to add some clothing that won't be visible from the outside, but will hold everything in this more coffin shape. So again, I am marking the width of the album, which is the the top edge of the coffin. And I am trimming it to 5 centimeters, so I'm creating sort of the same that we added on the bottom, so another spine in here. But I will also add magnets here to close the album. So I need a piece of cardstock that we used for the album base, and we will wrap around this cardstock again, similar we did with the spine of the album. But we will also add some magnets, so I just watch closely what I'm doing here. I have my cardboard ready. I'm adding glue of the cardboard, and we will glue it down to the paper, leaving 1.5 cm on both sides. But we need a more paper on top, less paper on bottom. The paper on bottom will become a hinge, and paper on top will become like a cover for a magnet. You will see everything in a second. So we need to wrap around the sides, left and right side of the cardboard. So I'm just preparing the paper, adding the scoring lines, and I will glue everything together, just like we did with the other side of the album, the opposite side. So I'm applying glue on the sides. I'm closing everything, making sure the glue sticks. And then I will add magnets on this longer side, and this shorter side will become a hinge inside the album. So basically we will do half of it exactly the same like we did with the other spine, but the second one won't be mounted like forever. So we could open the album. I'm sorry. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain to you. So we are adding a scoring line here because in between those two pieces of paper, I will add magnets. And then I will add the second layer of magnets inside the cover of my album. So before I will glue everything down, I need to add the magnets inside. I have strong magnets. They are very, very thin. So I'm just adding them, two of them, so they will stick better. And even though there will be layers of paper, they will still stick because they are so strong. They are made for this purpose. I have mine from some shop in Poland, but many scrapbooking shops sells them. So I'm just using double-sided tape to hold them in place. It doesn't matter if the side that is on top or on the bottom, but with the second layer that will be on the cover, you will have to be careful. So the magnets connect, not push each other away. So I'm adding glue on the outside of the hinge. I'm gluing it into the cover, exactly the same like we did with the previous side, with the opposite side. So I'm gluing everything that will be connected permanently. And now I'm adding two more magnets. And as you can see, I added them in here. So I'm sure that will stick and I know which spot they will come to. And I'm adding some spare paper to make them a little less connected to the cover. And I'm adding pieces of double-sided tape on top of each magnet. And then I will close my album, press firmly, and the magnets will stick to the cover like this. And when I'm sure where they are okay, I'm pressing, and then they are on the other side, and I'm sure they are corresponding with the magnets from the hinge that I made, and I can cover them with pattern paper. See, they fit so well, and the shape of the coffin is ready. And now it will be time to decorate every page and cover with page papers, with pictures. First, I just need to cover this hinge so it won't be visible. And with the covers, we will cover them with pattern papers. So I'm just adding glue to the hinge that we created just right. And we will have like a nice black finish. And we can proceed with decorating, which you can learn from the second part of this album. There will be also a part where I will show you the shaker on the cover, and at the end I will show you the whole album, how it looks and how it holds together. So I hope you learned something useful from this tutorial. If you have any questions, of course, you can always ask them in the description box. So stay tuned for the second part. I think I will upload it, like this video will appear on Friday and the second part will be uploaded on Saturday. So you will have two parts closely. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye!